route and stuff like that. So see if he's able to bring some of that star power here.
Yeah, no headbutting your teammates either.
Yeah, his celebration's one of my favorites ever. When he just gets up and just starts smacking his head.
he's had a lot of fun. And again, we talk about players who have kind of risen to the top very early on. We talk about players like Wuskins, you know, in the same sense. I think Dylan has got to be one of the quickest, but so far so good. Nice little double kill for Dylan.
Yeah, and Wuskins going to take the initiative to try to get over there and slow down the rotation from Denial. Actually getting taken out by Brezzy, but he does buy enough time to get his teammates set up. Trophy coming in. Tommy just trying to stay alive and play with his teammates here, but players do get into that 18, which is a power spot on this hill. We'll see if Denial is going to make that first move and try to get that first button. There it is on Sean.
Wuskin has hit the flank, and he's going to find a kill as well. Tommy and Zed find two, but Whalers does shut down one, but that one surely not enough here. There's a lot of players still around, and Whalers ain't going to be one of them. He's been put back on that respawn, and Reciprocity are making the first two hills look a little too easy here.
Yeah, and like Denial was just too slow. Like one, they were a little bit too slow in rotation, and two, like they get into that 18. You got to try to attack them before they get set up. Like they let the trophy come in, Tommy lay down, Shawnee reloads, backs up, and still gets into the mix. Like Denial needed to push the pace there. They played a little bit too slow, but looks like they may be able to pick up this last 20 seconds. Problem for them is, though, Dylan's picking up streaks, and the players on Reciprocity are already focused on that rotation.
He nearly gets the Hellstorm. He gets a bit over-aggressive there, but Whalers shuts it down. Just the Lightning Strike, but we've seen already this series how powerful the Lightning Strike can be. That's another gunfight. Natshe does pick up, and oh my goodness, Zeke from the side. He's going to find himself a double surely here, and that's going to be surely going down. So poor start for Denial here, but they are in full control now of Showers and have the capability to bounce right back.
Yeah, Shawnee and Tommy rotated, but neither one of them pick up a kill, so Denial was able to get in there. And what was a pretty bad situation turned into a good one. And 3 kills going to come in on the side of Denial. And we're seeing the players on Reciprocity trying to group up, trying to get through Showers here. And there goes the opening.
3 do go down. Reload will prevent the kill coming in for Denial. 67 to 39, but the 25 seconds remaining look favorable now for Reciprocity. Spawns are up for grabs here. Of course, you see number 2 Zeke spawning out here. If Tommy pushes forward and picks up a kill, it could be different, but Denial looking to hold on to that. The kill feed so back and forth. Orange and white here. 82 to 39, as we do see the small lead in Reciprocity potentially be extended on this next hill.
So yeah, Broken Hill can be a lockdown hill. It's going to be very important that Denial try to hold this one down, but it looks like they're going to pick up those kills in the back, spawn all the players out near Highway, and it's just going to be risk left here to try to do some damage. Going to take out Tommy, but there are players in this hill with trophies, somehow picking up multiple kills. Dylan maybe pushing up a little bit too far. Spawn still on the side of Rec. Well, actually, they are going to spawn out. I think it was number 4 who kind of glanced at that back spawn and blocked it.
Yeah, nicely done there by Reciprocity, because Denial are finding kills. You look across the board, everyone's slaying, but it's not necessarily, you know, equated to points. You know, and that's what it's about. You've got to get these points. You've got to be able to get the kills at the right time, and Reciprocity are one step ahead in that regard. However, 20 seconds to go, and it looks like here Denial are rotating. There is a streak, though, for Dylan. A Lightning Strike can just break this middle hill instantly.
Yeah, I mean, Lightning Strike going into this next hill is extremely important to have. You use that, you can get a 60 on it. Like in the beginning, it's sort of back and forth, but if you do have streaks going into it and you get full control, you can get a lot of points on this next hill. 130 to 40, and what has seemed like, you know, a race. Like this map's been like 40, it feels like it's been like 40 seconds.
I really like the play from Dylan. It's almost like he's playing with his food there. He takes some damage, he comes back, throws a concussion and wipes him out. 45 seconds still left to go. Nameless, 100-point lead now for Reciprocity. This hard point is getting a little out of control. Specialists are going to be coming in soon. Zed, Dylan, Shawnee, and the likes are just wiping them out, and that is going to be 5 down. Rec with 30 seconds left. They've got full control.
And they have
wow.
They pretty much are going to have spawns for new as well. We see the rotation coming in from Denial right now. Zed just trying to get 1 kill. Is he going to get it? No, he's not, but we're going to see a fight here for the spawns. 2 players on Reciprocity. They're going to be heavily outnumbered here, though. 4 players located in this new hill. What's going to take out 1, and there's just no trade right now.
Oh, Wuskin. That's a kill that Brezzy needs to make. Wuskin, I feel, was weak. The TAC 5 boost, though, is going to make him very unweak, shall we say, with the 200 HP, the turn, the burn, the Wuskin double, and the Tommy to find the third. This is getting out of hand. I've said it 2 or 3 times now. Dylan, 15 and 6. Tommy, 12 and 9. Wuskins has streaks. Shawnee has streaks. Tac 5 boost. We've got a slam near a purifier. Wow.
They just made the same mistakes twice, but we're going to go into a reciprocity listening. Let's hear what the boys have to say.
Don't worry about it. Watch out on the pass. He's backed up to the right corner.
What's front, risking?
I'm mine in front.
See if for next. See if for
One's already in. I'm grappling him. Come back. No.
Nice, Tom.
Come in the back. Come on, Sean. Nice shot. Good shot.
Yeah, back of all, they spawned here.
Spawn back out. I've got a shower, Sean. Spawn back out.
Yeah, they're going next. Passing back over from old.
Nice, 2 dead.
Spawn back old, they spawn back old.
One behind me, showers. Dojo. I'm well in, but with the I'm probably dead. Nice. I spawn back of votes.
Let's put this in base.
Get flag on. Showers.
I'll hold him down.
Showers. Dojo.
Half flag on down. Yo, streak.
I'm streaking. Oh, you grabbed, yeah? I'm gonna streak showers.
Nice to hear from Reciprocity, the Astro game, and listening there. However, if they're looking to finish this series strong, it's 49 to 236 with 2 streaks left. Denial, so good in the search and destroy. They pushed it in the control, but they are simply not on the same page in hardpoint, Nameless.
Yeah, this is absolute dominant performance, and both Middle Hills, Reciprocity dominated and rotating over towards second. We saw Denial trying to get control of it, but they played simply too slow. They just wait there near the 18, not try to get those spawns, and ultimately that's going to cost them the map. They got destroyed, start to finish.
Our points were one-sided. Search and destroy, I'll give Denial the credit that they deserve, as well as the control. It was close, but control, I feel, was, a weak point for both squads. It was really those hard points that separated themselves, and Reciprocity, a win that they needed. And from the man himself, he said, it's a wrap at the start of the series before he went up there. And he lived up to that. Wuskin was having a phenomenal game 4, but to be honest, all 5 of them were on fire.
Yeah, they all played amazing. That was a great performance out of Reciprocity and improvement in their control, getting that reverse sweep.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for game number 2 of the day. We've got 2 more games coming up after this, guys. Hope you enjoyed Reciprocity versus Denial. We'll catch you after the break.
Reciprocity getting a very much so needed win, 3-1 over Denial, now improving their standings in Pro League to 4-6. Denial dropping to 2-8. Not what you want to see. Now, Nameless, it was a little bit back and forth, but what map, what stood out to you as kind of the swing moment?
I think Reciprocity were just pretty much dominant hardpoint. Like, they just destroyed them on both hardpoints. Like, really was not close. They're one of those. And then the control, I thought that, you know, whatever team won that, it would swing into their favor, and Reciprocity win it. They were down 2-0. They come back and they win that map, which is, you know, make sure they don't go to that game 5, which Denial could possibly take off them. So great plays in the respawns out of Reciprocity.
This game, too, on the side of Denial was just beautiful positioning out of the players. We see Natshe, who's sitting at 9-2, pretty much ended the game like 11-2, just dominating this entire map. Wearless, for me, I remember he was in a situation, he always loves to play this outskirts. Even when he was there before, there was Reciprocity were pushing through middle map, tried to flank him through the side door in their base. Wearless turned around, picked up one, and just shot the guy with one bullet, punched the other guy. Just overall, I just felt like it was great positioning out of Denial.
Yeah, this control, Denial went up 2-0. They actually won their first offense, and you know, sort of a blunder on the side of Reciprocity. Tommy sort of throws his life away after that first initial few kills that they got, and you know, I thought that they were off to a good start, but then they're up 2-0. Their plan was to use the grab slam on offense to get control of it. He doesn't pick up a single kill. It was Brezzy, and then since that point in the game, Reciprocity just ran away with it. And the second key moment was when Dylan popped that 2-piece on B Street. When you got that 2-piece, it's pretty much done and dusted.
This is the map that Denial definitely needed to win, right? Because they're both such 100% poor control teams, and they were in position to win it and guarantee at least that game 5. I think the way they lost it too led to the way they lost map 4. Like, they were up 2-0 at a spot where they felt they could win, and then it got taken away from them, and then that map 4 just was utter destruction. That might be the worst beatdown we've seen in Pro League.
I mean, at that point, why, Nameless, I mean, you were casting it, why were they just so dominant? I mean, Denial didn't even get to 50 points.
Well, to me, it was that they lost the initial hill, right? And then they rotate over to P2, and they flood through the street, but they played too slow. They were just sitting inside of the 18 and sitting inside of Sushi. Like, you got to try to get those spawns and, you know, make some moves. So, you know, that was definitely a blunder on their side. And then as well as Reciprocity pushing through this hill and getting control of Broken. You know, on the first time around, they get control of Broken, and they get like 40 points. Yeah, lightning strike in the next.
Dylan started off with streaks right away because of that.
Yeah, Tommy had a lightning.
Spiraled out of control for them for sure. This series worries me for Denial because this is the first time where they really didn't look competitive in those maps at all. And before, even though they were losing, they did look competitive. And to lose that, it's just looking bad for them.
They just didn't look competitive in the hard points. They just looked really bad in that. But, you know, the search was all right. They looked pretty good.
They played well, but the control, I mean, neither of those teams are good at it, and it obviously cost them moving forward.
Yeah, I think they probably should have won that control. That grab slam was mind-blowing. I wish we had a replay of it because he goes right up the middle. There's 3 people, slams, and they just all got behind cover. The game probably would have likely have been a 3-0 if he got that, or 3-0 on the control if he got that grab slam. But overall, yeah, the hard point's terrible.
All right, so as you guys may have seen on Twitter, Nameless Ant has entered the realm of the olds. It is his birthday, and he is now 25. Of course, we have to wish you such a happy birthday. You can't actually frown, but we're going to make you smile in a second if you know you look to your left.
Oh, let's go. What do we got? Oh, let's go, baby. There we go.
We also...
Happy birthday, my man.
Oh, I feel amazing now. Let's go, Joe.
We also have a little something else we want to show you, too.
No. Get that out. Get that.
Wait, what is this? What is this? Oh, no. Oh, no. Am I getting royalties from this?
World star right here.
Wait, all right, Ethan made this for sure. That's our lovely producer in the back. He 100% made this. By the way, anybody in the chat, if you have Twitch Prime, Twitch.tv. Here's all those clips.
Yeah, they're not that good right now.
Oh, no.
Legendary moment, eh? Legendary.
Oh, no.
The beard saved you, bro.
Dude, I thought that video was buried.
Oh, no.
Man, it's the cringiest moment of my life.
That moment's legendary.
It's a legendary moment, man.
I'm eating you alive!
Dude, I don't know why it has so many views.
All right, well...
Legendary moment.
I guess.
We all love
Where's
you very
that passion
much.
at, by the way, to all the pros out there? Nobody gets up and screams.
Where's your passion like that on the desk?
That's not true.
Well, I don't want to scream because then you'll just get mad at me.
Oh, yeah. I get a little alarmed sometimes, but, you know, I scare easily. It's fine. Now, again, happy birthday,
Thank
of course, to Nameless. And let's pull up now our schedule as things move along. We do have Genji versus 100 Thieves. And, I mean, seeing what we saw from Genji yesterday, this is going to be a tough matchup.
Oh, yeah. Genji looked absolutely scary yesterday. The way that they're just playing their hard points, I was saying it yesterday, just the trio between Major Maniac, Envoy, and Mox. Like, those three guys are just going to be able to keep up with the slaying department, no matter who they're playing against. It doesn't matter what pace the other team is playing at or anything, just the chemistry that they're having. I just feel like this team understands how to play the game so well around each other, and the aggression that they're able to pull on is just unbelievable.
This team is super good here in the Pro League in Columbus. I don't know what it is, and then Havoc seems to be, to me, seems to be the most effective player in Search and Destroy that we have in this entire league. He's been playing amazing.
He needs a new hat, dude.
Yeah, that's not great. Doesn't.
Mox has been amazing. This guy, even yesterday, was just going off. And I remember in the very early months of this game, I was watching them play, and he's just the most annoying AR. He's always on rotation, always there, always the backbone. And that's translating to his gameplay now. Like, that discipline that he had early on, it's just allowing him to just dominate now. And, second adjusted KD during Pro League at a 1.33. You won't see too many main ARs putting up stats like that.
And, I mean, you certainly can't. Again, we watched Splice fall to them. Temp did kind of have a couple team kills, which might have swung a little bit in Genji's favor. But, again, Genji looking very dominant. And 100 Thieves coming off of that kind of, I think, unexpected loss. Still an extremely good team by all counts. I mean, you can sometimes lose it, Pack. But, I mean, going up against Genji, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, now today, Austin said, I'm never not playing with the hat again. So he put the hat back on. We just saw a shot of this crowd. Mud Dog's here for them. Maybe some moral support.
Run it up.
And, it's just one loss, right? They're going to lose. They're going to lose. It's a long league. It's hard to go undefeated out here. And, of course, they're still on the uptick. That one loss shouldn't set them back. They come out here, win the day. Tomorrow's loss is completely forgotten.
Yeah,
yesterday's loss.
Yesterday for me, when we saw Arsenal come up back-to-back, I was expecting Octane to have a dominance.
I mean, we all kind of did.
I pull up the stats today. He had a .75, and that's just something you don't expect out of your 1.5 on Arsenal kind of player. Just overall, even in the S&Ds, Enable just did it. He looked like the Enable from old. We always talk about it. He's just not really that good at S&D, and he was showing it yesterday. He went 2-7 one map, 1-7 the other, which is completely unacceptable. You fell off the map a couple times. It's just unfortunate on the side of 100 Thieves.
Study, in your career, were there ever days you just showed up and for whatever reason it just wasn't working for you that day?
Yeah, there was days all the time.
Definitely
every other day.
I usually get one good series in it, throughout the day, but other than that, it's usually hopefully my teammates hard carry, That's why I had Nameless.
That's why I was there, time again.
Got to gas him up. It's his birthday a little bit.
All right.
I'm actually, it's just that cake is so far away from me and it looks so good.
Yeah,
Oreos, I want it.
You ain't getting no bite.
What? Why? I made him think this whole day. He didn't say anything on the desk, but this whole day I made him think that we weren't doing
me and
anything.
John are sharing this cake. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Hold up. I'm over here. Can I get some, man?
No, none for me, none for him, and I guess they're going to be greedy and eat it all. But that is enough for us on this desk. Again, a very, very, very happy birthday to Nameless. But you did just see Reciprocity with that very much so needed win, 3-1 over Denial. But as we move things along here, coming up next, we are going to have 100 Thieves versus Genji.
Circle clock 10 minutes. You have a nice day. Throw a little bit of dirt on it. Put a little dirt on it. Sayonara. I'm the general. I'm being worth something. My soldiers is ready to put a black house on them.
Play new content first on PS4.
PlayStation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Maven and Merc now taking over as we get ready to hop into Gen G vs. 100 Thieves. We've got two incredible matches to close out the night, Joe.
Yeah, we absolutely do. I think, you know, this one could get quite interesting because on one side of the stage, you have 100 Thieves who, you know, they started off the week very well, beating Reciprocity. It was a rematch that we saw at Fort Worth. On the other side, you know, you have Gen G who are having a great week, but 100 Thieves yesterday, they go to that Game 5 versus Midnight, drop that series.
I talked to Slash a little bit before this. I was like, what the hell went wrong? He's like, dude, we had two people fall off the map on payload. He's like, my league play teammates don't even do that. And I was like, what was going on? I was like, I don't know. It's like it felt like we were drunk. Like, we just weren't making the wrong plays. People were on the same page. Like, basically just felt like they were out of it. Like, they just weren't clicking. And that can happen from time to time. But you expect them to rebound today, that's for sure.
Well, I wouldn't say it's inexcusable, right, to like have a bad league day match. Like, it's going to happen. And there's going to be matches when you come in and, you know, that hype isn't behind the match. Like, going into it, I don't think you would ask anyone, maybe besides the Midnight players and the fan base of that they have, besides them, everyone was picking 100 Thieves.
I think that was a trap game for 100 Thieves, absolutely. They went in expecting, I think, to maybe roll over them a little bit. Maybe not as, I don't want to say they didn't prep as much, but just like mentally prepared. Like, you just don't go in with the same mindset that maybe you need to take a match like that. And then for Gen G, I think the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is going to be that game 2 between these two teams. Because even though we saw Gen G slip up a little bit at Fort Worth, they still remain perfect in search and destroy in the Pro League. So there they've been lights out. That could be a big map between these squads. But for Gen G, they're still that team that's, I guess you say, kind of one of the top teams, absolutely. Are they a favorite to win a tournament? Maybe not, but do they have the potential to do so? I think they're right on the cusp of that.
Yeah, you talk about Search and Destroy. I'm actually really excited for the hard points because Gen G yesterday, they're able to beat Splice in both of those hard points. And I feel like when you talk to a lot of teams when it comes to sort of practice, these are two of the better hard point teams, especially on the 100 Thieves side, where they've shown so much dominance, you know, since they've added Priesta.
And for Gen G, I think that's where we saw them really improve at Fort Worth, right? When you add Envoy, he comes in, maybe a little added slaying power. Their respawn is what really got the bump. It was their search that maybe took a back seat over that weekend. But here we go. It's frequency to kick things off. Priesta getting right into the mix, sliding by one, but will get dropped almost instantly. We'll see who comes out on top of the trade battle as it's fast and frantic here at the opening hard point.
Yeah, just Slasher and Octane, the last couple left alongside Mox. Mox almost got around that corner, just one bullet left, and a good start for 100 Thieves. We'll see now how Gen G can try to break on, and you see Envoy on your screen, just playing under window, trying to play a little bit sneaky, but it feels like Octane, he knows something's up.
And we know how good 100 Thieves have been in respawn, really kind of before Fort Worth with the addition of Priesta. You talked about that, but I don't think you mentioned the stat. I think we got this from JP right before this about Kenny. He's the guy to watch because when he's going even or positive in respawn, they're 25-3 in respawn, which is it all on him? No, absolutely not, but it's just one of those kind of wild X Factor stats. Like, he does well, you win respawn.
Well, and I would say even since Fort Worth, he was incredible there, but it's really been him and Octane. Like, I know that we've talked a ton about Priesta, and he's helped really evolve their game, but two players that I think have just improved and really is the reason for their respawn success is Kenny and Octane. And that's not even, we haven't even touched on Slasher, right? Like, Slasher's on this roster. We haven't even seen the best from him yet.
He's just like a constant force. You just know what you're going to get from him. And, well, early it's going to be streaks, but I was actually in their coach's stream, Crowder, earlier today, and he answered some questions before he goes off. And one of the questions was, some of the guys said, what's wrong with Kenny this year? He's like, what have you been watching over the last month? Like, hello? We talking a couple months back? Because Kenny's been nuts. It's just, yeah, it's been interesting to see him certainly push to getting back into that incredible form we saw him last year. But currently, it's a 25-point advantage for 100 Thieves as they continue to lock down Orange base. There's just over 15 seconds remaining in the hard point. and they've done a good job of not only giving the time, but getting Gen G set up in the back so they'll be able to rotate the next.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. All of Gen G spawning towards Old. Yeah, Slasher and Kenny inside elevator just trying to cut off the rotation. This nade could be big. But at least help him trade, but it was actually Envoy who took down his teammate, and it helps him trade the wrong way as he blows himself up.
Right when you said it, you go, this could work out great. I was like, he's walking on it. He's getting closer to it. He's directly on top of it now.
You still had Enable, though, who was very far pushed up, but it's the Sog duo of Havoc and Envoy able to break on through.
And they've already got control of that outer balcony, so this is not going to be easy points for 100 Thieves. They're going to have to fight off the contest first and foremost, kind of win this over the course of 2 waves. They've knocked out a lot of these players, but you still have a presence from Envoy who's making plays despite the fact he wasn't able to pop off the heel. Finally gets it in, and he's still going to come in for him. Havoc then there for a trade, and they'll get the time, and now spawning out at Pipes will be 100 Thieves. This is a good hard point for Gen G considering the early control from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, the scary thing for them, though, you go towards Pipes, that's when Slasher streaks, that's when they can come into play, and he's still hanging on to both of them, hasn't invested into one. And I mean, he's 15-5 right now. That's the scary part about 100 Thieves. They just have so many weapons who can take over at any point.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of teams you'll mention, like, yeah, there's a guy or two you could highlight. Like, they have the ability to drop 30, 40 kills, 6,000 to 8,000 damage and take over, but yeah, it's literally 5 that have the potential to do that anytime in a respawn.
And look at that, Slasher got his War Machine so early. Gen G wasn't ready for it, but it doesn't matter. They're able to find all those kills, and now they're going to force the Lightning Strike to come out, force them down low between those ladders. Priest had tried to catch one, now it's Enable, but they lose both the gunfights. But again, it's Slasher who's able to find 3 kills with that Lightning Strike in the Maddox.
Yeah, you've used all of this, and you still haven't really got any time at Pipes. Maybe Slasher just has to do it all. He's used his War Machine, used the Lightning, now got 4 in a row before he finally falls, and they'll get the final 20 or so seconds, so at least you don't come up empty after using some of those heavy hitter utilities. But I think if you're Gen G, considering the hot start from Slasher, you still feel all right. You're very much in this game.
Yeah, I mean, these 20, 30 points really are the first hill. Besides that, you've done well because that's the first hill. It is where Slasher does hit those streaks, plus you've won this rotation. TAC 5 is coming in now for Gen G. They're just trying to lock this down. Trying to see if Priest is close to Grab Slam. Almost there. That's one that we typically see used to break this first hard point. But all the kills right now going the way of Gen G.
Havoc's POV right now as he continues to slip and slide. Such a force to deal with when it's up close and personal combat. He's got some of the best movement in the game, and this is a great spot on the map to showcase that. Grapple available, Grab Slam as well, but he's not going to need it for now.
Slasher again, he blew himself up. I don't know what's going on.
Is that back-to-back clusters where he kills himself?
Yeah, that's that. I mean, he's having a great game.
For those at home, if you're working to get better with your cluster grenades.
Yeah, a little tip for you.
Don't throw them and run on them.
Yeah, no, they will blow you up.
They'll die.
Yeah, exactly, as you can see here. But Nagafin 90 points away. Priest, though, on that rotation. Can he just finish the kill?
It's just
trying to stay alive.
It's just funny, though, considering the conversation I had with him before this. So he's like, oh, we have 2 people fall off the map. Like, my league play teammates don't do that. He kills himself in 2 clusters.
His league play teammates probably do that. No, that's the difference right there.
Well, let's see if Nagafin can get the streaks. He's so close to picking him up. Somebody had to maybe pick it up to combat what Slasher has been doing, but as he's trying to do it, Priest comes in with the Grab Slam. That's going to kill him. Okay, he does get the Lightning, but no Hellstorm. So a big Grab Slam in, but Gen G have now taken control after kind of flipping the switch on Elevator.
In the 100 Thieves didn't know that 2 players spawned back there. They thought it was just one. Major Maniac and Mox just stayed alive towards the back. Slasher able to find one, but this is set up a pinch. Now there's just 1 player left in the spawns. Just coming some good timing for Gen G, and the fact that, hey, we're going to spawn up back there. We're not going to push. We're going to play our lives, and the guys at the front set up the pinch. A great play out of Gen G, which leads to about 20 more seconds for them.
And we mentioned right as this started kind of that wild stat about Kenny when he's going even or positive, and right now he's the guy really that needs to turn it around the map. He's 9-17, sitting around double negative. We'll see if we can pick it up, or if he can pick it up as we get later into this game. But let's shift focus now over to blue. Nagafin in the hard point. A bit of a pinch opportunity developing, though, for 100 Thieves as they have 2 in the back and 3 hitting out towards elbow and balcony. 4 go down there for Gen G. That will be exactly the break they need. And 100 Thieves, that's a big one because it was starting to get out of control. Gen G had a couple, they chain Elevator into orange. They're starting to take a nice lead. 100 Thieves really needed this time.
Yeah, that was one of those breaks where if it does come through for Gen G and they pick up to 20 to 30 seconds, game is pretty far from there, but Havoc able to fly on in with the grab slam, finds 3. Nagafin does use the lightning strike, so 100 Thieves won't have to worry about that if we do go to pipes or when we go to pipes. But these last 15 seconds, at least 100 Thieves, even with all that invested, they still hang on, so you're feeling pretty good.
Well, nice movement there, and a couple of nice kills behind the melee in the RK7 for Mox. Now we'll go over to Major Maniac's POV. War Machine out. Who's going to have flak? It doesn't look like anybody's got it, and he's got one looking over him. Needs the direct contact. Maybe he doesn't. Havoc, his Guardian Angel, finds 2 as they push up. 4 go down for 100 Thieves, and this is perfect setup and control of pipes for Gen G.
And that's something that we talk about. You just have to be ready for the War Machine. And, you know, I've seen a couple of discussions of, like, players shouldn't use it right away. They should try to throw the timings off just depending on when you get it, right? So the team that maybe thinks you invested it, right? Like maybe they don't know if they accidentally killed you with a streak, yada, 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 so the timings were a little bit off. But Slasher does have his, so I just feel like he should have been like, hey, I have a second War Machine. Envoy might have his as well.
Watching Kenny will swap over to Enable. Now, Elevator's been the one that's probably been pretty 50-50, right? Really good from 100 Thieves early. Gen G the second time around. Havoc and company destroyed, and this is really where the comeback and the swing came in for Gen G. And they've got a nice setup this time as well. You have Mock sitting in top window, exactly who you want from that position. The remaining 4 inside, but now it's Slasher's turn with the War Machine. 2 kills come through, make it 3. There's the clear. Havoc last up, and now he's got to try and finesse his way back to mid-map.
This is big time for 100 Thieves. I'm trying to just take a look, and there's no specialists on the side of Gen G. Slasher doing it all right now, 35 and 19. A great game 1 for him, but you know it's one of those games where after, if they do lose this, he's just sort of sitting there like, what happened? Because I'm going off. What's going on between the rest of us?
But he got production out of that second War Machine, that's for sure. Maybe another thing due to timings, like you said, like he's having such a monster game that you see him able to earn that.
Nagafin's just playing sneaky on this rotation. The problem is all his teammates are going to go down, and now you see number 10 and number 6, they turn around. That's Slasher and Octane just trying to hunt him down. The melee does come through. There should be a trade, and it's going to be from Slasher as Enable finds a couple of kills, so the rotation should go the way of 100 Thieves as Enable starting to heat on up, and he has the Purifier. This is what they need. He's on a 5 spree.
Lead change about to go the way of 100 Thieves. He's just going to go pull it out. Flak jacket though in. Trying to stay up. The help from the teammates come in. Now 45 up and another grab slam in from Priesta. He's gotten 5 kills from his 2 uses over the course of this game. And now 45 more points needed for 100 Thieves. This is a big push in break for Gen G. The problem though, you've got to go up against Attack 5. Attack 5 is not going to matter though. When you have the lightning strike hitting, 4 are going to drop. One's going to spawn in the back.
Kenny.
A split spot comes on the other side, but Kenny goes huge in the hard point.
Yeah, I mean, they had an opportunity behind that lightning strike that Mox has, but the problem is it ended up connecting on one of their players, resulting in a team kill. Now Priesta, he's got some streaks as well. So you have Enable with the lightning. You have a couple more on Priesta, which will at least allow them to get in towards this blue base. But it just feels like ever since Elevator, it's been all 100 Thieves in the kill feed.
Yeah, and even if somehow Gen G get an early break into blue, when it gets to pipes, there's going to be so much left over for 100 Thieves, more than likely to be able to use, but we even get to that point. But look, 3 are going to spawn in the back. Slasher, though, able to pick it up. Nice shots, help from Priesta. What a game from 100 Thieves, and what a map from Slasher. I mean, dude, he had the same progression towards his next one, but he was working on his 3rd, and it was Major Maniac working on his 2nd. Like, I mean, I know he's doubling his kills, so that makes sense, but it still looks absurd when you think about it, just when it comes to the specialist weapons. What a big deal it is for your heavy hitters, like the War Machine, to go off like that.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And you can just tell sort of Gen G a little bit caught off by it. Sometimes when you're hot, you can catch off that enemy team, but it was a bit of a slow game 1, I think, for the rest of 100 Thieves. But ever since that blue base, right, when it was like, maybe Gen G could run away with it, we go to pipes, it was all 100 Thieves after that point. But Enable, I mean, inside Elevator, he was on a 5 spree, and he knew if I can bring out the Purifier, they have to run towards me. He has some help from Priesta, but a great job on that rotation.
Well, I mean, it was a Slasher show for most of the game, but then, you know, you and I kind of calling out big play from Kenny in the hard point at Orange. Priesta goes off to get streaks. Enable's a monster at Elevator, and Octane, you know, the turret we know and love, just setting up with the ICR, but everybody had a moment down the stretch.
Yeah, this is that play, though. So Mox actually gets Havoc. So as soon as Mox goes down...
So I called he got 4, so it was 3. I didn't realize.
And basically, because he goes down, the spawns don't flip because Kenny wins that gunfight. So then they're getting the scrap time and not on rotation.
Slasher and Priesta, just a dynamic duo. You're going to see all the white arrows spawn on that right side of your mini-map. That's exactly what 100 Thieves wanted, as Octane and Slasher get 4.
Yeah, and Octane with the big kill kind of in transition, and make sure Balcony is set up for them to get the closing moments of this hardpoint. But before we got into it, Jess did have a chance to talk to Kenny. Curious to hear his thoughts.
Thank you, Clint. Yeah, and Kenny said that he's feeling good. 100 Thieves, he feels like are in a really good spot. And indeed, I could tell they were definitely in good spirits. He said that the loss to Midnight yesterday, he called it an anomaly, saying we don't play like we normally have been playing and like we normally do. So he's not really letting it get them down. And he says that it's all about the S&D for this series. He thinks that whoever wins the S&Ds here, whoever wins the first S&D in particular, has the capability to just come in and win the rest of the series. From Gen G, I spoke to Nagafen, and he also thinks that things are pretty good. He said that their hardpoint rather is clicking, their S&D is clicking. He thinks their main concern is the control. He says that they've been just kind of struggling, choking a little bit there. So yeah, their main concern is the control. So let's see how that S&D and control goes. Back over to Joe and Clint.
Thank you, Jess. All right, so one map in the books. We'll see how far we're going to get into this series. But yeah, nice win from 100 Thieves. They get the hardpoint on the board. But now, for me, the Search and Destroy is where I was curious. Just because Gen G, get them to Columbus, Ohio. They do not lose Search and Destroys. But I think for the 100 Thieves side, Tita started really slow in that mode. They've obviously improved really in every capacity over the course of the past month and a half. But this is going to be a very tough test for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, Gen G, we just know they're going to be an S&D, or a great S&D team, and they have been from the start. The thing is, for me, like, if they want to win tournaments, like, they have to be able to close out respawns against teams like 100 Thieves, and they were able to do that yesterday in Splice. That's where I think, like, if they could do this on a consistent basis against teams like Splice, 100 Thieves, Optic, United, they have the chance to win a tournament. But until that happens,
I think what you're saying is sort of why, even with their record in the league, I know for myself, I still consider this sort of like a dark horse to win a tournament. Like, I don't think I put them like a top 4 favorite team to win a tournament, despite the fact that the record sort of would support that. They're still kind of this dark horse for me. But if they can start to get a little bit more consistent with that, suddenly they're slotted right into that list.
Exactly.
Well, it's going to be Payload Search and Destroy coming up. That's where Slasher said they had some issues with players falling off the map. Hopefully they can remedy those issues. The clusters from map 1 long behind him doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want with your clusters and you're dropping 40
Yeah,
points.
40 and 20, you can have a couple of mistakes, I guess. I mean,
he hit some nice clusters there. He's having even more of a monster game. But he had an incredible map 1, and you see why he has often been in the conversations with the top players in the game. I think maybe for him, I'm curious if I know I don't want to say it's an ego thing for him, but a lot of pride for him. Like, he wants to be the best as much as anyone, if not more than most players. And I wonder if it's tweaked him a little bit, like being on this roster. But like, he hasn't. We've talked about like Dashy. We've talked about Temp. I feel like he hasn't really been in that list so far this year as sort of that top guy. So
it might be something nice for him though. Like, he doesn't have to. Like, remember on the old Envy rosters, heck, even Rise last year, he just felt like he didn't play at the highest level. They weren't going to win. And that's like a very tall task. Like, that's what we talk about with guys like Hook, guys like Temp. You're not going to get that. It's on the other guys at times to step up. And if you're Slasher and you're looking down across your team, you're like, all right, I do have these guys now who can bail me out of these positions.
Well,